welcome back to the channel. As you would have seen a couple of days ago, I posted a couple of pictures on our Facebook page and our Instagram page of Pedders GVM upgrade. I was really hoping to film the install, which it proved a little bit harder than I hoped. Still learning on all this, recording and videoing and all that sort of stuff. Still early stages of the channel, so we're still just working off our mobile phones. So in the processes of working out, do we go a digital SLR or GoPro? So if you got any hints or tips, chuck them in the comments below. Would love to hear from you. So back to the GVM upgrade. Since I couldn't do a video, I took a fair few photos, which I'll sort of post them in this video. I just thought I'd give you a bit of a rundown on the reason why I decided to go down the Pedders route. We're on the mid-north coast of New South Wales in Taree. So unfortunately there was nobody in Taree that did GVM upgrades. And hence, could have easily drove to Newcastle or to Sydney and got someone down there to do it. But obviously with COVID, it's a bit hard to go to Sydney. And then also with Mel's work, she needs to get to work every day, so we couldn't really do without a car. So we sort of had to look at other options. I spoke to a few companies that they sort of, because there was no registered installers in the area, there was nothing they could sort of do. I contacted a mate that I know that owns a workshop, JG Customs and 4x4. Contacted Jamie. We were just sort of talking to him about it. He does a lot of Dobinson stuff, but I think we looked into it at that stage, and Dobinson didn't do one for the 200 series, a GVM upgrade kit that is. So then he looked into the Pedders, and actually he applied to become a Pedders GVM upgrade installer. So he went through the process of doing all that. Tick all the boxes with the RTA and the RMS, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, he got all that done, which was I was greatly appreciated that he did that. It was good to be able to get it done in town without having to go out of town. So keep a bit of money in the local community. So yeah, there was a fair few, I wouldn't say hoops, that we had to jump through. Obviously this is a 2016-17 Landcruiser 200 series GXL. So we sort of did a rough guesstimate on sort of weight. I put it over the weighbridge with full tanks of fuel. Me, Mel and Shelby in the car, and just a fridge. And we sort of went, you might as well say we went to 3 ton. So only gave us 350 kilos to play with. Our caravan's got a ball weight of about 260 kilos, thereabouts. So it didn't leave us much room for putting, kayaks, drawers, all the other bits and pieces that we need to go when we go on the road for an extended period of time. So we sort of bit the bullet and went down that track of having to put a GVM upgrade in it. Now I looked at the Lovels. There was an Iron Man dealer nearby in another town that could have used him. But as what I said before, couldn't really do without the car. Mel needed a car to get to work every day, so that was a bit of the option. So lucky Jamie stuck his hand up and went through the process. So we ordered the kit. We had to supply him with quite a fair bit of information, because obviously the kit is, it's got to have all the vehicle's details and everything put on it. It took a while. The shock absorbers, the front shock absorbers, took a while to turn up. But Pedders kept in contact with him and kept him in the loop of what was happening. They did say they could send up everything and just send the fronts, but we just decided on just getting it all sent up as a whole. So the Pedders kit we went with was a 3850 kilogram GVM upgrade. So it comes with front springs, front shocks, rear springs, and they also supply you with a set of front and rear brake pads. So they're Kevlar ceramic pads. Haven't installed them at the moment yet. Just waiting on some new brake rotors to turn up, and then they'll be getting installed. So yeah, keen to find out how they go. Short term, like everything fitted nice and well. You know, we had to measure all 4 corners before we started, and I was pretty impressed that there was not much difference. I think side to side at the rear there was about a couple of mils difference, and then the front there was 4 mil difference from left to right in ride height. So we went ahead, pulled everything out, changed it all over. I think the job took them, you know, maybe a couple of hours from start to finish. You know, then once we had everything reinstalled and back on the ground, and we took it for a run around the block and come back and remeasured it, we virtually got just a little bit over 50 mil of lift on all 4 corners. I'll post the actual measurements, a picture of the actual measurements up. To my surprise, front left to right on the front exactly the same, and same on the rear, left to right on the rear exactly the same measurements. So pretty happy with that. It's going in for a wheel alignment tomorrow. Hopefully, you know, the guys there at Jack's in Taree Brad can work his magic and, you know, get the alignment back in the shop. If I can't, you know, we might have to chuck some upper control arms in, but we'll just wait and see. Yeah, obviously to finalise the GVM upgrade, I've still got to go and take it down to Newcastle and get an engineer to just check it over and sign off on it. So yeah, that's on the cards. Once we're just going to book in for that once the job's completely finished. I will sort of show you, you'll probably pick up from the pictures, plus I'll sort of do a bit of a video of around the car as well. Front to rear, it's still got that rake that the 200 series have, so it sort of does sit higher in the back. I'm really interested to see how now it goes with the van on the back. The rear springs were virtually the same static height as the standard springs that come out, but obviously the material was a lot thicker material, and there would have been at least another 1 to 1.5 extra coils, but still the same static height. So pretty impressed with that. They were quite easy to fit. Yeah, so overall, you know, early thoughts on how it drives. Obviously, you know, it sits it up a little bit higher, but and you know, the steering with the wheels, how they're set up with the extra lift, haven't got the right camber on them. It's a little bit sort of twitchy in the front end, so hopefully that'll get fixed up tomorrow. But actual ride quality and comfort is not a hell of a lot different to the factory suspension that come out of it. Now, like, it had 97,000 Ks on the clock when we pulled the suspension out, so it was still the original stuff. And now this Pedders stuff so far, you know, it's not harsh at all. I really expected it to be quite firm, and I've got nothing in the back at all at the moment, so the back is completely empty, and it is quite acceptable for something that's, you know, just beefed up to carry an extra 500 kilos. So yeah, super impressed with that. Obviously, you know, I'll touch back after a long term, and especially once after we hook the van on it and see how it tows with the van. Hopefully it doesn't squat down in the bum as much as what it did before. Sort of got my fingers crossed that I don't have to put airbags in it, but you know, if I have to, I have to. But yeah, overall, pretty happy. Couldn't, you know, the guys at JG Customs, Jamie and Toby, like they stayed back and did the install, you know, after hours the other night, just to sort of fit it in, get it done. So they've been, you know, excellent. Anybody in the local area that's looking for someone that, you know, just, you know, everything from service, like, you know, simple servicing work all the way up to your full customs, like, you know, he's done a lot of custom four-wheel drive type stuff. Yeah, and just a downright, you know, a pretty good bloke. Bent over backwards to help me out. Like, you know, he could have just said, you know, nah, I have to go to Newcastle or Sydney or somewhere like that to get it done. But, you know, he went above and beyond and sort of, you know, so hopefully you might be able to pick up an extra few work and get, you know, get the word around, you know, that you can do GVM upgrades in Taree now. And, yeah, might get a few extra work, a bit of extra work out of it. So yeah, the missus Mel hasn't driven it yet, so she'll be driving it in tomorrow to get the wheel alignment done. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, other than that, really impressed at the moment. Still haven't got the final bill, so once we get that, I'll post up a costing of sort of what it's all costed to get it done. So that really wasn't an issue for me. You know, obviously the prices I've been quoted for the Iron Man and the Levels kit, you know, I was sort of prepared to go with the Iron Man kit. Yeah, and then, yeah, obviously this one come along. So the shock absorbers that they supply are a foam cell shock, quite a large diameter, big ball shock, so I think they should handle the load and everything quite well. But as I said, I'll touch back after we've done a couple of 1,000 kilometres in it and you know, get the feedback from the missus. It's got to go back in 1,500 kilometres anyway to get a recheck and everything retensioned and checked to make sure everything's all spot on. As you can see, you know, not huge amount of lift in the front, but you know, definitely in the back. You know, I could definitely go some much larger tyres. As you can see, we've got the stickers on the car now. But yeah, you know, got the Pedders GVM stickers on there. So there's quite a gap. So, you know, obviously plenty of room now to fill it up. Put some big muddies on it. I don't think so. Maybe some more aggressive all-terrains. As you can sort of see in there. You can just see the springs and the strut in there. So yeah, as you can see, sort of got everything stripped out of the back. So that's going to be the next major mod on for the 200 series is we've finally decided we're going to go an off-road systems drawer setup in the back. So we're going to go a fridge slide on this side, and on that side just a single height, just their standard height drawer. Going to go the full aluminium setup, so it's nice and light. Yeah, so looking forward to that. We'll give you hopefully I'll have some help on that one, and I'll get the missus to help, and we'll do a good video on the install. Obviously nice and bright and red still, hasn't got muddy or anything yet. But yeah, so far absolutely over the moon with the quality of the fit out. Yeah, thanks for watching. As I said, there'll be I'll post plenty of photos in with this. Well, Mel will, she does all the editing. Apparently I get too cranky trying to do it. So yeah, so please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. As you can see, Scott, probably need to spin that around because that'll be back to front. But yeah, Scott Nothing Adventures. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You know, drop a comment below, and we'll answer. We love hearing from you guys. You know, any tips, tricks, you know, especially to do with recording and editing and all that. As I said, hence why the name Scott Nothing Adventures, because I've got nothing when it comes to the editing and the videotaping, just learning on the run. So thanks, guys.